All right. So as I was saying, this whole, I'm okay. So Mason made the comment about just being open and having a dialogue. And I said, I'm definitely okay with having a dialogue because personally, I feel like that's to me, I don't want to shut you down or shut you out because I don't know
Mhm,
how we build from there, right? And Leno, you actually put me on that a couple weeks ago where you were like, welcome to dialogue and build from the dialogue. And so as I think
mhm,
about having these conversations, it's like, all right, cool. I'm cool with having the conversation, but if some conversations are coming to me very shallow and it feels like you just checked a box, I reached out to my black friend and he said this
mhm,
was cool to put out, or I reached out to my black friend and he was okay, so everybody's cool. Like whether that's a text message or a phone call, it's like if it's inauthentic and I sense the inauthenticness and feels very shallow, then my natural
mhm,
response is okay, we can talk. But I want to try to put you on to game as we have this conversation, right? I want you to know that okay, I can do what you're asking me to do, but here's some things I want you to educate yourself on some systematic issues that have been happening
mhm,
well beyond time, right? Not just within this moment. And so to me, that's how I feel like I'm advancing and helping and actioning so that Rico, you had made this comment earlier about unconscious biases. So that when I'm having this one-on-one with you, this person who does not look like to me, you go back into your community, your churches, your homes, your schools, whatever, and you're a lot more mindful of it. And so that when you see it, you can recognize and hopefully you do something different than just kind of letting it ride or not speaking up, right? Because as we all know, your silence is saying something, and that's not positive at all if you're being silent on this. So Leno, I'll come to you,
mhm.
and if there's any closing comments that you have around this topic, definitely share those, and then we'll kind of work our way around the horn. So we'll go to you, then Sean and Rico. We'll have you close us out. Is that
Mhm.
cool?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So definitely we hit on some really important things. And Mike, I think you just said it best. One of the best ways to, while you're collaborating, while you're saying, hey, yeah, I'm here, you're reaching out, but you're vetting as well. Here's some stuff I'm going to give you to do. I think that's a really good key way to vet out, especially white people coming and saying they want to be a part, or is it just a check mark box statement? So those are one of the key ways to vet, because I think for so long we've had some reach out and just say, oh, you're okay, you're fine, I'm good, and they would take no action.
Yeah.
There will be no action. Um, so that's a key way to collaborate and to have continue that dialogue. And if they're vetted out and it's not real, we need to keep moving on and pressing on. Like Rico said, we're solidified within our own. So we know what our agenda is, regardless of if you riding or not. If it's a white person, you're left by the wayside. And I think for so long we've had a strong history. We've had really strong Black organizations within the community across the nation that have been infiltrated from like government, FBI level high up. So there is a distrust chord within there that needs to be addressed. Just like the elephant in the room. Are you truly about this? Because there's been such a history. I think we also need to put perspective on Tired. So once again, I know I love y'all so much. I know you all know me well. I always go into history. And once again, I encourage you all to dive into your family history. We have so many of our ancestors that were tired. Now, our perspective of tired is simply having dialogue. Their perspective of tired is I'm running through the forest.
Right.
I haven't slept for weeks.
Right.
I haven't ate. I
Right.
have a baby with me that hasn't ate,
Right.
that has not been fed. The man is the man of the household. I'm sorry, it brings me to tears because it's so strong. Our understanding of tired, let's please put it in perspective. We're only trying to have dialogue.
Right.
That's all we're trying to do.
Right.
That's all we're trying to do. So we've had, like I said, I encourage you all even to look at your grandparents. They went to work, they were getting spit on.
Right.
Now, if one of us got spat on, we would get tired of that instantly. I'm telling you, we wouldn't have a job the next day.
Right.
I'm just giving my sincere reaction.
Right.
So we got to put perspective of tired. So we have to pick up this burden that our grandparents, their grandparents, and then before them that have let down. We have to pick it up. So I know we're all tired, but we have to endure, at least at the level that what we're talking about now. Okay, I'll engage you if you reach out to me, and I'm gonna give you this. But you know what I'm saying. But you have to, for white people, they have to understand you gotta pick it up in that. We're solidified in what we're doing. So just keep that perspective on tired and what we're doing to carry it on. Because I hear a lot of the old heads, our older generation say, hey, it's time for us, our youngins, basically us. Rico said it the other day. We're somehow the OGs now, and we're young. It's not like we're old. So we're picking up, but we got to do it while we're in our youth, while we have this stamina, while we have this mental clarity, we have to do it now where we have the spiritual strength. Because one day we're going to leave, we're going to hand it off to Braden. Yeah. We're going to hand it off to Roz. We're going to hand it off to Noah. We're going to hand it off to Nico. I'm going to hand it off to Noel. We're going to hand it off to them. So we have to have the strength to continue on until there is, like Martin Luther King said, till we reach the mountaintop. And I think all this coming in together, we have to keep it going, regardless of how tired we are in professional careers and then outside of going to protest, going into the community. We have to keep it going somehow. Even coming together like this is re-energizing me. So all of this fellowship, brothership, sistership, we have to do it. And my wife, I love her so much, Catherine, she said, because there's so many other movements that have piggybacked off our movement, Black movement. So there's so many piggybacking off the strength of Black people. So as we're raising ourselves up, they're sort of piggybacking. But then here's the caveat. A lot of these groups, they sort of get catapulted ahead of Black. My wife said it so it was such a clarity moment for me. She said, well, babe, we can't just rub off our skin color. We can't take it off. So I think within that, we got to have a bigger understanding, the strength. I see both angles of it, but so much has been built off Black movements and culture that, and it goes back to vetting, that we really need to vet out and understand the true dynamic of what we're bringing up, what we're doing, but have a more of a focus on us. It's not that we don't care about those other groups, but it's a lot of Black and brown brothers and sisters out here that are being left behind and other groups are being catapulted forward. It's now come to a head to where it's like, hey, we're at the forefront. Yeah. We're at this. We're betting any other groups, any other ones, whatever you are, if you want to try to join it, but you're going to help our movement. You're going to be a part of our movement. And if you're not, you can start your own movement. We'll let you join in with ours. But ours is going to be the primary objective here. It's been too long. We've been doing this for so long, 400 plus years. So
yeah. Yep. No, I appreciate that, Leno. Appreciate that perspective, man. Reek, Maze, y'all got anything to add?
Yeah, I got something to add. I want to piggyback off of what Jared said. I mean, he kind of took the words out of my mouth, man. And just to give you more perspective, education, like Maze said earlier, is the key. You want to educate the youth, your children, my children, white children, and so forth. Now, here's my vantage point with all that. When I got educated through this process, a lot of the technology things that you use, like your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, were built on the backs of many immigrant workers that service here and the Fortune 500 tech companies, your FANG companies, if you will, Facebook, Amazon, Google, and so forth. A lot of those people are H-1B visa immigrants that come to the United States to work. If you do your math and you know your history, that 1965 act that allowed them to come over here and work was piggybacked after Martin Luther King's 1964 Civil Rights Act. Jared fills me. So, so the key here to having dialogue, because the key is you don't want to just have dialogue. You want to have meaningful, insightful, educated dialogue, because the minute that they take away your last name again, meaning if you don't know your shit, they're going to overstep our movement. And that's one of the keys to us losing this momentum. If we don't understand and equip our youth with this education. Now, here's why I talk about the youth. And this is my other action item. When the kids go to school, and parents could speak for me, do you feel that the history or social studies curriculum covers all the contributions that Blacks did over society? No, they go from slavery to George Washington Carver creating the peanut. They skip over whatever else happened to Martin Luther King, and then we're at Obama. 4 classes and we're up to date. No, that's not American history. So whose responsibility is that to fix? It's yours. You need to tell your kids. Now, here's the other vantage point. Now, if I'm in a space where I want to become an employee at, let's say, Facebook, Amazon, one of these top companies, it's a good likelihood that these executives and coworkers that you work with that either come from overseas or white people that come from super privileged backgrounds, they've never engaged with people like us from Cincinnati, Ohio, Zone 15, Forest Park, etc. They haven't engaged. You know why? Because they never had to. When they come from a nice area and they go to Harvard, Yale, MIT, again, Blacks are misrepresented in that group too in small numbers. They've never had to have a Black friend. They never had to be empathetic towards a Black cause. They never had to. Then when they get to work, same thing. They've never had to. So when they come on the TV, now they're seeing it. So that's why each Black person, we need to be careful not to